Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. The voice is still struggling, as you can hear, but there have been already one very entertaining game of the semi-finals in the URC. We've got another one just around the corner. Leinster taking on the Stormers. Hopefully, as this match gets closer to kick-off, my voice will kick in as well. But it's been a big old day in playoff rugby as a whole, and we've just seen the fourth rank qualifier get themselves the victory over the favourites. Glasgow Warriors are knocked out. The Bulls are through, and whoever wins this match between Leinster and the Stormers, they will be at home for that URC final. Looking through at the starting lineups. It's going to kick in soon, ladies and gents. It did on the last one. It'll do it again. Have some water, we'll be good to go. And some magic juice right there. But looking through at the starting lineups for Leinster, in front of the home crowd, it will be Andrew Porter, Ronan Kelleher, and Thomas Clarkson. As the front row, Joe McCarthy alongside James Ryan in the lock-in duo with Max Deegan, Josh van der Flair and Caelan Doris slotting in. As their number 8, Jameson Gibson-Park in the 9 jersey with Sam Prendergast at 10. Jameson Gibson-Park is an interesting factor in this contest because rather than being across from him being someone like a Cobus Reinach, it is Ahmad Khan, so a lot of experience goes in the factor of Gibson-Park. Today, James Lowe, he is out on the left wing. He is the most accomplished man when it comes to scoring tries for Leinster. Jamie Osborne and Rico Ioane make up the midfield with Jimmy O'Brien and Hugo Keenan as the number 15 in the starting lineup for the Stormers. It is Untatuko Machuru, Andre Hugo Fenta and Nedeling Faucher at 3. Array Smith and Connor Evans making up the lock-in duo. Normally we'd see someone like a Ruben van Heeren, but he is nowhere to be seen for the Stormers 23. In terms of the rest of the forwards, Paul de Villiers, Ben Jason Dixon, and Evan Roos, he will be slotting in as the 8. Ahmad Khan and Yuri Matia as that 19 combination. That is due to Sasha Feinberg and Ngumea Zulu being out with his injury. Lerion Zas out on the left wing. Dan Duplessis and Ruan Nel make up the midfield with Similani and Valimza as the last 2. And the lineup we have got there, I don't know what you're talking about. Your voice sounds exactly the same like every stream. I hear no difference. Says Xander. Hopefully that's the case as the match does wear on. I think it's already got a lot better than it was only 2 minutes ago, which is great news. But yeah, it's really not lasting well for this weekend. I have to say, we've still got the Sevens taking place tomorrow as well, which we are going to be covering on the channel. But by then I would have had a decent rest and hopefully some sort of medicine that will make it come back in much better fashion. But it has been confirmed, Glasgow Warriors, they came in as the favourites up against the Bulls. They didn't get the victory. The Bulls winning that one away from home. So they now wait to find out who their challenger will be. Whoever wins out of Leinster or the Stormers here today at the Aviva, they are guaranteed the home final. So if it's the Irish, more than likely this game will be taking place, of course, in Ireland. But I don't know whether or not they've got the Aviva booked in as the potential option. And now that Glasgow have been knocked out, of course, those are the conversations that need to start being had behind the scenes. And then if the Cape Town boys get the job done, then Cape Town will be where that final is hosted. And that would be a South African derby. But again, in this URC competition, we get to see it like we always have. No matter what, there has been a South African side in the URC final, and that trend will continue for 2026. Looking through at Leinster's previous form, they've been a busy team throughout May, playing 5 matches in total, including their quarterfinal just last week up against the Lions, managing to win that one 59 points to the 10. The final in the Champions Cup not too long prior to that, they did lose up against Bordeaux 41-19, but then also having a pretty good run in their previous May fixtures there as well. For the Stormers, they have just played the 3 games in May. Of course, they did not get to take part in the Champions Cup playoff matches, but a 38-all draw up against Ulster, losing to Cardiff, but then managing to get the win back over them the week after in the quarterfinals. They come in as 3rd-ranked qualifier. Leinster in 2nd. But again, whoever wins this game, because of the Glasgow Warriors now being out, just means you need to win this match, and you get yourself the home URC final. We have got the best of luck, Leinster, says Dara. And are you going to show the game? Sadly, not any match footage or audio. We'll get you taken straight off YouTube. We are going to see it through URC TV for us here in New Zealand, but there are going to be a lot of people searching for this game. DSTV is another one that are showing it, but you won't be able to find a free-to-air option on YouTube. Unfortunately, they do take them all down because it is illegal to show any match footage. But I would also say if you are looking for your illegal streaming options, just be very wary. The last thing you want to do is get a virus or anything like that, as that will cost you a lot more than just buying the game. We have you there. Can you answer my question, please? Is Mahadine, is it true Sasha's mum passed away? I have absolutely no idea, so I'm not going to comment on it because that would be stupid of myself. So if it is, condolences. If it's not, then I'm not sure where you heard it. We have you there. Stormers sub, please, Hamish. How many games have you done commentary on today? Believe it or not, it's not actually too bad. I think because of the games throughout the night last night, I think we're probably up to about 12 or so if you include those sevens fixtures. But just in this recent patch, I think we're up to about our 8th hour. I was how the hell did we win? Says, I know, because they didn't give up, unlike some of their supporters. You disappeared pretty early in that game, Hano, but there was always going to be a chance. Just after you left, I mentioned about the Leinster versus La Rochelle game from a while ago. Said that they weren't out of it, and they managed to find their way back in to get the massive victory. But now they're booked through to the final. They will have to wait to find out whether or not they are taking on Leinster or whether they will be going head-to-head with the Stormers. Both these sides would be valiant challengers for the final. Some are hoping for that South African derby. But Leinster, of course, will be hoping to make it back-to-back, something that no side in the URC has been able to do as of just yet. But we are around 9 minutes away from the kickoff of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking a little bit about the sevens earlier on. South Africa beating the Fijians, so they've all but confirmed their spot through to the championship gold medal. In fact, I think they have got it now. Unreal, mate, good on you. How about a Titans finish? Kenny with the try of the decade, says Shalik. Yeah, I haven't actually seen that one as of yet, but I'll definitely have to give it a look in terms of the highlights. Was it a good enough match to watch the full game, Shalik, or would you say highlights are as good as I should go? I was watching with friends, but I don't think we would win. Should have been comfortably, says Hayno. They just come out in the second half and played a game of rugby. That is something that Glasgow weren't able to do, but I think that the damage was done in the loose forward trio. Honeycomb alongside Marcel Kutsia, as well as Eldrick Lowe, they were making meters every time they touched the ball. Whereas on the other side of the equation, Glasgow just seemed to be going sideways a majority of the time. We have got there, how long before kickoff, Hamish? We have got around 7 minutes until the start of this contest at the Aviva. Now, it was talked about earlier on how rainy it has been in Ireland over the past week, so just waiting to see what the situation will be weather-wise. But the good news about Murrayfield was it was at least dry. They didn't have as many handling errors as they potentially could have. A lot more missed kicks from Andre Pollard than people would have been expecting. Put my money on Paul de Villiers, says Samuel there. We have it there. Stormers win by 15. Do you believe in the Stormers, Hamish? I'm not so sure. I think that without Sasha at the helm, we're going to see a different head-to-head of Yuri Matia versus Sam Prendergast. Bit of unpredictability on both sides. But I think they will feel that absence of Sasha. But at the same time, this side is in enough form that they should still be able to compete here up against this Leinster side, although last week Leinster dominated the Lions. They took them down, and they took them down well. We have you there. I think Leinster will be too good for the Stormers. As a Stormers supporter, I really hope we can cause an upset, says Guida. And if they do, they would host the final as well in Cape Town. I'm going to be the biggest Stormers supporter because maybe me and my dad go to Cape Town with the bus and go watch the Mighty Bulls win it in their backyard. Says, hey, no. We have got, they're listening from Sweden, says 1968. So it is greatly appreciated you being in. I will mention again, massive apologies for my voice. I did get sick on about, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. Tried my absolute best to be better by the weekend, but sadly, it didn't quite happen. So the voice is struggling. I do feel much better than I sound, though. So I will put that out there. I'm feeling completely fine, even though we've done another all-nighter. But yeah, the voice is just disappearing the worst possible time. Stats for Sasha, unbelievable. 31 turnovers lost. Most of any URC players, generational talent, this kid, says Robbie. Now we over there, Leinster too good, says Bock, and our scrums will win the game for the Stormers, says Samuel. And also, hey, no, you ready for Cape Town? Says Mohadeen with Leinster by 24 is Connor's prediction. Please say Andre Pollard immediately from the Springboks and the Bulls. Says Mohadeen, I don't think Pollard will be going anywhere, if I'm being honest. It looks overcast at the Aviva. The stands are not completely full. But They've just said something about 50% down on every fixture on average. I'm not sure what that's actually in regards to. Leinster come in as the big favourites heading into this contest, seeing as they are at home, their own backyard, trying to prove that they can go back-to-back. No. Says Thomas, is it raining? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's all right for now. There might be a little bit of rain around, as there normally is in an 80-minute rugby fixture in Ireland. That is nothing against the Irish. That is just the weather. Unfortunately, it's similar to what you see in Fiji, how a game can start off with a beautiful sunny sky to then be torrential downpour in the second half. Polly got a yellow. Missed 3 kicks here, Xander. Yeah, not his best game, but at the same time, he's also got a couple World Cups up his sleeve, and he was one of the big reasons that they won those World Cups. So I feel like to discount him because of one poor performance, that his side still won as well. Maybe if they had lost, they could have a bit more of an argument, but the fact that his side were victorious, you know, I'd take having my number 10 have a bit of a rough game and winning a game that I wasn't supposed to win every day of the week. And twice on a Saturday. Between this game now between the Leinster and Stormers is about to start up. They're playing Kurt Angle's entrance music at the moment. Over these sides, we'll be hoping that they do not suck out there on the field at the Aviva. That's a bit of a niche reference. Anyone who's an old school wrestling fan will know how to watch. For URC TV, that's the option here in New Zealand. Bolly will be better in the final, says 1968. And also hope the Stormers lose, says Paul. Win for the Stormers. Stormers is the powerhouse of rugby in the universe, says Martin. Not just in the world, not just in South Africa, in the whole entire universe. The Stormers are dominant in Martin's eyes. We have got there. Hello, sir. England versus New Zealand rain test. England needs 5 wickets to win. 2 days to go. Today's day 3. It is indeed. I've got it actually up in the little corner. 14 degrees and cloudy. It's the way that this one sits, although that is not the weather report at Lords at the moment. The rain is still falling for those sides. Leinster starting lineup for this game. It will be Andrew Porter, Ronan Kelleher, and Thomas Clarkson in the front row. No Tyg Furlong and no Dan Sheehan for this match. And the Leinster forward back, Joe McCarthy alongside James Ryan, and locking duo with Max Deegan, Josh van der Flair, and Caelan Doris, the captain. He is there. As the number 8, Jameson Gibson Park, I should say, partners with Sam Prendergast as that 9 and 10 combo. James Lowe out on the left wing, Jamie Osborne and Rico Ioane in the midfield with Jimmy O'Brien out on the right. Now, if your last name's O'Brien for Leinster, recently you've had a pretty good shot of being able to score a try, whether you're Tommy or you're Jimmy. They've been going over the try line for fun in the recent weeks. Hugo Keenan, he is at number 15. He will have a huge part to play here, definitely if the rain does start to fall later on in the contest. Wait and see what does happen there in terms of the Stormers. Ontatuko Machuno, Andre Hugo Fenta, and Nelin Fauchier as the number 3. Andre Smith and Connor Evans in the locking duo with Paul de Villiers, Ben Jason Dixon, and Evan Russ then slotting in as the number 8, Ahmad Khan and Yuri Matia in that 9 and 10 combination. That is due to the injury of Sasha Feinberg and Ngume Zulu in the process of scoring the try last week up against Cardiff. Did pick up that lower leg injury. He will be out for the next 3 months. Lilian Zas out on the left wing, Daniel Duplessis and Ruan Nell there as the 12 and 13 combo. Similani out on the other wing, and Damien Willemse at number 15. And so tomorrow, win, England win. And next day before, win the English Army, says Naveen, and hi all, says Daryl. Welcome in. Both sides just making their way out of the tunnel. The Stormers wearing their away strip with the green. Leinster will be in that classic blue as they make their way onto the park. Are you showing the game? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube. The copyright strike would be banned for 3 months, which would be enough time for my voice to come back, to be fair. I want the Stormers to win, but I won't be mad if they lose. Bulls already in the finals, so we got 1 foot in. And yeah, just like every other year in the URC, we have got a South African side in the final. It has happened each and every season since the URC's inaugural year, when it was actually a South African derby. That was the last time that we saw that take place. I do see there that players abandoned for day 3 in the cricket. Now ready for an all-South African final. Can't be nice to be Leinster tonight. Says Martin, how's the throat, Hamish? It's still there. Only just, though. I think it's definitely going to be hurting tomorrow. It's not feeling too bad in terms of hurt-wise. I just don't have a voice at the moment. G'day all. Stormers got their lucky green highlighted jerseys, says Studs Ray. Holly Davison. She's going to be the woman in charge of this contest with the referee's whistle. And Mike Adamson, he will be the TMO. Stormers 35, Leinster 19, as Mohaddin's prediction. Seen a lot of people back in the Stormers, even though they do come in as the underdog for this game. Both sides lining up here. We'll get ready to get underway. Back again, some national interest here. I won't say I'm a Stormers fan, but shout out in support in this circumstance. And also, how's it? Hamish Craig from St. Francis Bay, Eastern Cape, is back. Yeah, just having the moment's silence for the players who have passed away in recent times. And then we will be ready to go for this semi-final. At the moment, the Bulls, they will be watching on this game with anticipation, no matter what. They are away from home. But the question is, are they away from home in Ireland or are they away from home in Cape Town? For the final of the URC Stormers versus Ireland, may the best team win, says Gador there. Yeah, Leinster coming as the favourites. They've had a pretty decent record up against the Stormers over the recent years, although the most recent game that the two sides went head-to-head, I believe Leinster did go with a very experimental side in South Africa up against the Stormers. The big win going the way of the Stormers side. Here we go, Stormers. Says Ardrey there. Joe Burke is freezing, says Terence. Also, if Leinster cannot keep the error count down and keep it squeaky clean, they're in with a shot. Your voice, Hamish, getting sick? Already been sick. Did get sick on about Wednesday. And from there, it got worse on Thursday. Slightly better on Friday, but I still didn't have much of a voice at that stage. But to be honest, I'll take a dodgy voice over like my nose running every day of the week, even though it's not that nice for you guys to listen to. So I do apologise for the sound of the vocals today. But Leinster have got themselves the possession inside of their own 22. I'm sure you're taking lots of vitamin C. I've had quite a few different things throughout the last couple of days. I've had honey. I've had citrus. I've had also blueberries. Pretty much anything that I can find that might slightly help. And that ball, I'm going to be wrestled in touch there for Damien Valimza. How is the weather where they are playing? 14 degrees and cloudy. So pretty decent as a whole. Definitely with the weather that we've seen in Ireland throughout the last week or so. Line out throw here for Leinster, 38 metres out from the own try line. You sound like you were doing thin white lines. Says Katzenau, I wouldn't know what you sound like after that, but if you sound like this, then surely that's a sign not to do them, right? Yep, Jameson Gibson Park. Be going for the box kick from Justin's side of their own half here, Leinster. Stormers, miscommunication at the back, although O'Brien knocks it on in the end. Ahmad Khan going for the kick in behind, and that will be advantage over Sam Prendergast. We're going to get some decent distance on that one. And I'll say, did you light a vanilla candle to fill the room with its beauty and grace? No. Over there, Hamish, you need brandy, says Joe Man. And also 14 degrees in summer is crazy. And I imagine you'd sound like, is that Robert Downey Jr.? Oh, the voice doesn't like me going high, does it? Oh, another line out here for Leinster. We'll be about 43 metres out from their own line. 2 minutes down in this contest. Nice early. Plenty of time remaining. Line out here for Ronan Kellar. Like I mentioned, no Dan Sheehan for this contest and no Tyke Furlong. So a couple names that I would have loved to have available for this match, unavailable for this semi-final. Gibson Park. Let's kick that one nice and high. And great now, we got Damien hooked on red ball too. Says Martin, and there's a knock on from the Stormers. Let's give Leinster now the scrum feed, 45 metres out from the opposition line. I blame the new missus for passing it on to you, says Rian. No, it wasn't that, unfortunately. It has ended up being, unfortunately, 2 all-nighters last weekend, and then going out and about just was not a good idea. Obviously, my immune system decides when I've done the all-nighters, you know what, we'll just catch whatever's out there, and it's normally a cold. Lemonade honey, Curel menthol lolly, microwave it for a minute and drink it while it's hot. That'll clear the sinuses. And also, come on, Leinster, says Luke. Now, scrum feed. This will be the first one of the contest. We're looking to get a good old push going here, Leinster. And it's currently 12:30 a.m., but South Africa Rugby we support. Maybe if you joined, it will fix you. Still will see you in Cape Town next week, says Tanya. And will the Stormers get enough ball to stand a chance? Lions could not get going. Yeah, Leinster were very clinical last week, weren't they? Define out and about, supermarket and gym. Not a good combination. Of course, wasn't doing both of them at once, but it doesn't take much to catch something when you've been sleep deprived, sadly. Okay, it was so soft on the set, says Ollie Davison to Nelly for share, just explaining why they were penalised in that one. Porter is always a little bit of an interesting one when it comes to scrums. Terrible empty stadiums, says JP. Yeah, I don't think there's been a single sold-out stadium other than Christchurch. Across Super Rugby, URC. Oh, probably in the French top 14. They'd have full stadiums pretty much every game. The support that they get from the locals. One's going to be nicely taken. Last week's quarterfinals also not sold out of anyone. I think the most was around 18, 20,000, somewhere around there. It always doesn't look great when you've got big stadiums with a whole heap of seats that aren't full. But it's just the reality of playing in these big locations. Who's the referee in TMO? Referee is Holly Davidson. Mike Adamson is the TMO. But was initially almost stolen by the Stormers at line-out time, but Leinster will again get themselves the line-out. And Glasgow sold out last week, I believe. Yeah, although that was when they were at Scottstown, so I think that holds about 7,000. So it's, I guess, technically, they can't sell any more tickets than the stadium holds. And what a game from the my Satyrs yesterday, says Josiah. But now scrum feed here for Leinster. They are 5 metres out. Sorry, a bit further than that. Probably 12 metres out from the Stormers line. I'm going to get something going early. Go Stormers try time, says Martin. If they're not careful, they'll concede one. Short ball to O'Brien. Only about 7 metres out from the line now. The step on the inside from Max Deegan. Isaac and Brandy is your best option, says Adri. Across to the right. And for the steal and the breakdown for the Stormers, but just leaving his feet there was R.A. Smith. About 7 metres out. Gives him Park. Little pop pass up from Prendergast to Clarkson. Again, gets himself the start in the number 3 jersey. Slimani to make his way off of the bench. Tackle made by Evan Russ. Now back across. Gibson Park. Low chopping tackle from Tuka Machunu on Doris. All drop ball from Josh van der Fleer. Not able to control it there on the attack, Leinster. They were close. And our school games have better attendance, says Daryl. We over there, don't stress about your voice, mate. People love Barry White. Is it bad if I don't know who that is? Unfortunately. Stormers are the underdogs. They certainly are. I'm expected to lose this game by around 15 points, the Stormers. But after seeing that game between Glasgow and the Bulls, they will feel that little bit more confident. It's the scrum feed now. Sorry, the line-out throw for Leinster, about 25 metres out from the Stormers' line. A lot of ball early for the home team. And they turn it into anything here. Josh van der Fleer going back across to Gibson Park. Now low with the short ball to Hugo Keenan. Did the Bulls lose? No, they won by 1 point, 22-21. After being down 21-3. You need a laryngeal massage. Locate the tight tendon muscles on the outer neck and rub. Apply baby oil as needed, says Christopher. Yeah, see, I've had about 15 spoonfuls of honey throughout the last 3 days, which has helped to a certain extent. I think it actually made my voice last a little bit longer too, because I think it would have been gone by now had I not had that honey. Now, big driving tackle on Osborne by Evan Russ. Now, short side gives him Park, good hands from low. That ball somehow ended up in the hands of Jimmy O'Brien. It looked like they were going to go on the outside, but it's actually deflected off the Stormers player. Tavilliers in the breakdown. Wasn't quite able to get that steal again. Prendergast shovels it on to Jamie Osborne. One more pass out to Rico Ioane. He decides to go himself, and straight through Ioane goes and scores the try for Leinster in the early stages of the semi-final. We have got there. Stormers go for it. Go, go, go. We have got there. Where will the final be played? If Leinster win it, that's actually a little bit unconfirmed for this Leinster team. If the Stormers win it, it will be in Cape Town. And Evan Ruiz hero. And Hamish needs a double Jägermeister. I think it's slowly warming up. I just had to be strategic at how much I raise it, because as soon as I try and shout, it just disappears. Yes, Rico, says Dazza there. Well done the balls. What a comeback, says Dion. Now Sam Prendergast. Chance to add the additional to Somerset, says you think. But this will be a crucial couple points. Now we have there, Hamish, what places are you going to? When are we talking? Like in the near future or just in general? That kick has gone over from Sam Prendergast, and that is going to make the score after 9 minutes, 7 points to 0. First of many tries today. Says Barry, Western Province already losing? Yes, but you've got to remember, and once again, it doesn't take long to think about it in terms of recent history. 21-3 down. The Bulls were, they bet the Glasgow Warriors. So no matter what the score is here, it's going to be whoever's leading at the 80-minute mark when that final siren blows. Oh, I think they were checking for foul play here. We have got there one step towards Croke Park, says Mr. Michael. And was it Manuka honey? I'm a beekeeper in South Africa, so I know about honey. I'm not sure if it was or not. It's called arataki, I think, here in New Zealand. It's pure honey. I don't know anything else about it, though, but apparently it's supposed to be quite good. It might even be raw honey. I don't know the exact terminology. Game on yet. Says Dennis. Currently 10 minutes into the contest. Leinster are leading 7 points to 0. And the clearing kick from Jameson gives them park. The Stormers, this will be one of their first attacking chances inside of Leinster's half in quite some time. And want the Stormers to win, but can't see it. Says Terence. Didn't your girlfriend tell you take her places she's never been? Well, I don't actually have a girlfriend at this point in time. But 10.5 minutes remain here on the clock. And Stormers will get, says you think. On out throat, nicely taken by Adre Smith at the front. This one now, cross kick attempted here for the Stormers. That's a very good take from Hugo Keenan. Had it been taken by Similani, it could have been a very different situation there. Are you going to nightclubs and picking up these bugs? No, I think I got it from the supermarket, unfortunately. Should have done the online shop, shouldn't I? And come on, the Stormers make it an all-South African final back home, says Anthony. And yeah, if that was the case, it would be the Stormers. And they would get to host in Cape Town. Is this commentary available in English? Says Robert, not quite. You're going to have to deal with gibberish today, Robert. But if that's your type of party, then you can stick around. Rico Ioane passing across to the right-hand side out to Jimmy O'Brien. Pops it to Hugo Keenan now, trying to go through the tackle of Paul de Villiers. He's always dangerous in those breakdowns. And we have got there, Pollard looked very relieved when the final whistle blew. Yeah, he doesn't normally miss that many kicks, Andre Pollard, throughout almost the whole season, let alone one game. And gives him park. Across to the left-hand side again. McCarthy. Tackled by Evan Ruiz. Jameson gives him park. Now moves it across to Jamie Osborne. Well, it still has a chance, says Cool Story. On the other sideline, Max Deegan gets straight back up to his feet as he wasn't held. Makes those couple extra metres. That is something that Glasgow were not able to do consistently throughout their game up against the Bulls. And Bollard's kicks were really bad. Did your girlfriend give you a bad throat? Don't have one of those. I do have a bad throat, just don't have a girlfriend. And some honey can make your throat burn. Depends on the pollen the bees are storing. That one's going to be kicked high. Waiting for this one to come down was Valimza, but it slapped back onto the side of Josh van der Flair. But it is ruled as a knock-on from Leinster there. Now, Josh van der Flair from the Netherlands? No, he's Irish. We have there Polly buckled under the pressure today. The question now becomes, will he play in the final? Yes. There is no chance they take him out for that final unless he's injured. Because just because he's butchered one game, Pollard, He's probably also won sides around the world 15 games for the one that he's butchered. And we have there, people watch Damien Valimza today. He's going to be man of the match, trust me. Says Red Howe currently possession 85% for Leinster in this contest, 84% territory. Yeah, one of them last week, not quite. I said that I was going on a date, but not a girlfriend-boyfriend situation. We have the year for Pollard. Nightmare that will change in 2027 Lightning. There's revers an insult to rugby. There's always one, isn't there? Is it the decisions that she's making or the fact that she is a woman, Johan, that you're more offended by? But now Mad Khan, ready to put this ball in here. Pollard or no Pollard, Bull still won the game. Says Adri. Yeah, it was Pollard's early 3 that helped them go on the overall victory in the end with the 1-point win. And that one collapsing in the scrum against Andrew Porter. There are 3 things guaranteed. One of them is Andrew Porter to collapse the scrum, unfortunately. Doesn't have the best scrummaging record, although he wins the occasional one too. Good evening, Hamish. Trust you are well. Says Philip. I've been better, but I feel fine. It's just I've got no voice. Whoever that says one beer Bosch. We have good there. If you are scared of the crowd, then you shouldn't be a ref. Says sick. I don't think they've said that she's afraid of the crowd. I think that any home crowd can be pretty hostile, though. Like, normally, I think every referee has the almost on purpose, like not so much bias, but they will check the replays. At the end of the day, the person who is in charge of the replay screen normally can help affect a game because they show the right ones at the right time. And also we have there. So has it not panned out with that young lady you were seeing? It's just not that official yet, says Younger. It's still very early days. I only met her like a week ago. Philip Bailey has donated there. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. We have it there. Very happy for Share survived that scrum. Twisted down badly. Nice take from Yuri Matea around the halfway line. He has knocked it on again. Now Gibson Park picks up the ball. Mistake made by the Stormers. And Gibson Park still charging forward. Passes off to Kelleher. Now back across to the left-hand side. Sam Prendergast thought about the wide cutout pass and gets it to McCarthy. Inside ball to Ioane. He's already scored himself the lone try of the semi-final. Gibson Park across to the right. Big clean out in the breakdown too. Now Gibson Park, Prendergast shovels it on. The Prendergast-Ioane combination's an absolutely lethal one at the moment for Leinster. It cut through the lines last week and it's looking to cut through here again. Now is she afraid of the crowd? Says Fleshin. Going away to the left-hand side. Gibson Park. He's off to Ronan Kelleher. Now off to Rico Ioane again. Hanging very deep there in the in-goal area. There is a knock-on, so they'll go back for the initial penalty. No Russian Hamish, says Luke. And also we have, there you go, the Stormers, says Martin. And Holly is one of the better refs, to be honest, says Mike. Over there, you say you don't have a voice, so what are you speaking with? Yeah, I think it's about 5% of the voice that's left, but it certainly sounds a bit rough. You like Hamish says, Terrence? See it there, Yuri Matea initially dropping that ball, and then Gibson Park, lightning quick, jumping onto it. And please the Stormers, says Mohadeen. And Stormers, you're the best. Go for it. And Bro G is Cape Town. This one's going to be 3 points on offer here. Morning, Hamish to the Kiwi Peeps. Should Thomas Latham keep his spot on the team? Whoever made him captain needs to lose their job, says Sock. You know, I don't know whether or not the Lord's test is the best one to judge the Black Caps off. I don't think there's been too many guys who have been able to step up massively. Although, to be fair, Jameson didn't go too bad, did he, with the first day? Nathan Smith, he went all right. Bowlers haven't had a bad day, but that's because of the pitch. But they're playing on. Bring us Cape Town, says Tanya. That kick has gone over. Your 5% voice sounds great, says Ruben. Is appreciated. Leo Cullen watching on, taking notes. With the side leading 10 points to nil after the 18 minutes. Again, until this final whistle blows, there is no guarantee that the Stormers would lose this game. based off the most recent fixture that we witnessed. With that one going out on the full from the Stormers, that is not ideal. But, 18 points. The lead was squandered from the Glasgow Warriors at Murrayfield. Hello, Xander and Roof. We're off to a bad start. Says Sock there. We're over there. Hamish is a legend in Cape Town. Says Ruth. And in China, they drink warm water for their voice. It helps, says Adri. I had a bit of warm water yesterday, which seemed to go all right. This stuff being ice cold probably doesn't help. Is Test cricket worth watching now? Betting on green minefields or dust bowls? I'd say the Lords one's been disappointing in terms of the variable bounce. There's been so many that are snuck under the bat just due to no bounce whatsoever. If Thani now, take some little brandy shots. Let it trickle slowly down your throat. It must burn, says Dan. Now around the halfway line, the Stormers with the scrum feed. The Stormers scrum against them. And this one has collapsed. We are going to have the reset once again. In your live stream link, says Emmanuel, sadly not. URC TV is the best option that won't give you a virus. DSTV is also another option that you can use, but of course that is sadly not one that is free to air. I wonder if it was an all South African final, whether or not they would go for it on SABC. As a Bulls fan, I want Leinster in the final. Stormers not better than the Bulls. In the Cape Town Stadium, they have all hometown cameras serving their cause. Leinster will be better officials. Stormers have gone to sleep, says Ruben Africa. A little bit of a slow start, but again, that Bulls game, that pretty much showed us that no matter how you start, don't get me wrong, it is a little bit crucial. It wore down the opposition a bit, but it's how you go in that second half. And that's where the Stormers will have to find their way back into this. We're currently 20 minutes through the game. That is going to be the advantage now going the way of Leinster. Jameson Gibson Park passes it across to Hugo Keenan. Now Ioane, the draw and pass out to James Lowe. Gets round the outside. The fend on Ahmad Khan, but he's given it away to Similani. That's a long advantage. They'll go back now for the penalty. They have made about 25 metres in the process there for Leinster. No SABC stuff, mate, there broke. And Hamish is accepted by the Durbanites. And it was the offload initially from James Lowe trying to go on the inside. Can't we replace the ref, says Johan. I would recommend doing referee school yourself, Johan, and getting out there. Because at the end of the day, these referees have done all their training and whatnot. Normally the ones who are watching it, including myself, we don't really know all the laws to the best of our ability. We don't have to make the split-second decisions. They don't have the benefits of replay at the time. So, I would recommend, if you're young enough, if you've still got a little bit of hop in your step, get into a refereeing course, go through the motions. About 5 years' time, we may see you at international level or in the URC. We have the hello there, mate. How you doing? Hello, everyone. Says Sebastian. And Stormers rock up, brew. Says a busy. And there as well, Hamish, save your voice, use sign language. I don't know much sign language. It looks like Andrew Porter's actually injured here, so that is not a good sign for Leinster. Getting towards an uncontested scrum situation if Yusinov also suffers the injury. Preach some love for the refs, says Justin. And morning, Seb. Time to blame the ref. Typical South African supporters' attitude, says Barry. We're 21 minutes in at the moment, and the Stormers have got themselves the line-out throw. You might not what? The SABC 2 showing this game. The kickoff time is in 6 hours from now. Also, they're actually going to have a replay. Do they have a replay of Glasgow versus Bulls as well? And Stormers don't have a presence in this game. It's been all the possession for Leinster. I think they're still sitting at about 80%, and we are 21 minutes through this contest. In a way, they're probably doing well to only be down by 10. Inside ball there, a little bit high from Andre Smith, who misses the tackle on Hugo Keenan. Now back across to James Ryan. Flicks it up to Caelan Doris. Now Gibson Park. Back across to the right-hand side again. Will the Bulls stay in Europe if the finals in Dublin? Ayaka say anything? I'm not actually sure what their big plan will be. You'd assume that they would like to. Similani takes that ball, but they'll go back for another penalty advantage there. Now that esophagus is not properly lubricated. Which drink are you going for? I've had a lot of honey water. I've had water in general, but it's still not quite coming out the way I'd like it to. So SABC has shown the game. Then the world will already know who won. So bad, says Adri. And also we've got there, the ref was crap in the Bulls game until they won, says Fleshin. Right, looks like Leinster are again going to be taking on the three-pointer. And can't wait for you singing on the final stream. Yeah, I don't think that was ever agreed to, unfortunately. And go the Stormers, says Jackie. And I was like, come on now, Cape Town, Mother City, get your ashes, says Dan. And also, don't give Leinster a fast start in the game. That's exactly what is happening now. And adding the additional 3 for Prendergast, making the score now 13-0 in favour of Leinster. We have there, hypothetically, if they bench Polly for the finals, who do you see becoming the kicker? I guess Villy LaRue would be your kicker option, unless, it depends on who they have as that 10 though, doesn't it? Because I don't think they went with a specialist 10 off their bench. Oh, ball's loose. Picked up by the Stormers. Chance on the counter-attack. Paul de Villiers moves it on to Ruan now. It's the best attacking chance that the Stormers have had of this whole game, and Evan Ruas knocks it on. And another unforced error from the Stormers side. And Stormers' worst record of South African teams playing in Europe, so no wonder they struggle here also. Every ref makes a bad call here and there, of course. They're still far more qualified than any of us. I think South Africans as a whole complain about them more than any other nationality, says Yanko. It looks like the Stormers will remain scoreless today. They'll get some points along the way. This is a good attacking line-out position on the field. Currently sitting only around the, I'd say, 20 metres out. If Philly becomes the kicker, the Bulls won't taste gold, says Xander. So you keep Pollard then. Like, even though he had a poor day off the kicking tee in the most recent game, you still give him another crack. Now ready for the line-out throw for Andre Hugo Fenta. Now Hugo Fenta waiting for this ball, waiting for the maul to slightly move. It's pretty stagnant, but now breaks off the back. Ronan Kelleher gets him around the bootlaces. Bit of a loose ball. It's another knock on from the Stormers, and it's picked back up by Alex Yuzinov. Honeycomb of a Rus, says Ben. Yeah, Honeycomb was making a lot of meters in that game up against Glasgow. So one of the really key elements of why the Bulls were able to win that game was just their gain line, or the extra meters carried. He's holding me was the call from Andre Smith. Is the way he was trying to kick a bloke. Now, Ahmad Khan. Ball on the side of the Stormers. Back across to Connor Evans. Now, Ahmad Khan. Big collision there. The tackle with James Ryan. What rhymes with Rus, says Neo. And that one's going to be booted into touch by the Stormers. Not quite getting the distance on it. Although I think it's deflected off a Leinster player. And that is why it didn't go too far. So it does give the Stormers now the line out about 28 metres from the line. We have got their Leinster's up against the knock-on. Stormers ain't lovely. I do have the word boob in the chat, says Sebastian. And there's again Hamish for this, says Andre. Bit of an injury here for Josh van der Fleer by the looks of it. It's the last player that Leinster would want to lose at this stage of the contest, as well as in just general with the fact that they could have a final around the corner. Rus is about fifth in line for the box number 8. And also we've got their Stormers going to win it now. I think their biggest key is just get some possession going. They can hang on to the ball and they can just slowly build into this half. Of course, it took the Bulls a while to be able to find their rhythm. The benefit that the Stormers have, though, is they haven't received yellow cards in this contest. They've been playing with 15 men. Yeah, just making sure. Now, Van der Fleer is going to be all right. The tackler may not compete for the ball without releasing if this stuff, says Johan. We have there, Ruz, get it together, buddy. Okay, Ahmad Khan just having a bit of a conversation there with Holly Davison, just clarifying one of the laws. It's been gone for too long. There's out on all the boobies in the chat, says Sebastian. What's streaming service in the USA is Nation Series coming on. I see Flow Rugby is dark in July. Maybe Paramount then, but I wouldn't guarantee it. I'd definitely do a little bit more research on it before you sign up for Paramount Plus if you haven't already got it. Stormers are out. The Bulls going to Leinster to collect their gold medal, says Xander. And Pollard has proven himself to have multiple off days, always a hero, says Dan. And we're having a Porter, is he back? It seems like that knee injury has left him out, or at least that leg injury. So Yuzanov is still out there now, moving it on to the right-hand side. Valimza goes out to Similani. Ball back on the inside, finds Damien Valimza. Couldn't get the offload away, but they're 5 metres out from the line now for the Stormers. Ahmad Khan moves it across to Paul de Villiers. And an offside advantage in favour of the Stormers now. Skip pass, Yuri Matia looking for the cross kick. A really awkward bouncing one. And they'll go back for the penalty. Who scored the Leinster try? Rieko Ioane is the first try scorer in this contest. And we have got there number 9, sees everything the ref think she does. Number 9 sees everything the ref thinks she does. As in like that conversation that Ahmad Khan was having with her where he was just clarifying one of the laws because he actually felt he was in the wrong for it. Now we have it there. I already have Paramount Plus. I was just about to drop 155 to watch this match. Flow side is bugging, says Mo. Looks like they're going for the quick tap here for the Stormers. Andre Hugo Fenta popping the ball up, although straight onto it for Josh van der Fleer, just losing his footing. Now on to Tuku Machunu. Pick and go there. A lot of momentum. They're over the line. And it was a grounding and it's awarded. And the Stormers now will score themselves their first try. It's the big man, Andre Smith. Where they are playing the ref. Before I even know who the ref was, says Cool Story. And why did Valimza not pass, says Ben? Yeah, it seemed like he was hesitant to go on with that inside ball, wasn't he? But hasn't cost his side whatsoever. The Stormers getting their first try in this matchup now. Go the Stormers, says CSW. Early tackle from Doris on into Tuku Machunu, but Andre Smith just getting some real momentum towards the try line. They're finally getting into the game, says Studs Race. Yeah, for as much ball as Leinster have had throughout the first 28 and a half minutes, they're only going to be leading by the 6 points here if Matia can convert. Although he has missed away to the side, so they will just lead by the 8. We're over there. Well, the Stormers are back. I knew they will come back, says Xander. Also, is that the true Rieko Ioane? It is, if we're talking about the ex-All Black Rieko Ioane. Well, the Stormers are waking up, says Ruben Africa. Yeah, that's come at a good time too. Still the 10 minutes or so remaining in this first half. And now it's just about getting a bit more of the ball. Prendergast kicks it off down into the 22 of the Stormers. Nice take from Evan Russ. Tackled by Jimmy O'Brien, who's a little bit slower, getting back up to his feet. Peacock says Mo. And the Stormers wake up finally, says Ruth in there too. No, it's gone backwards. Sorry, that was actually Andre Hugo Fenta who had that one now. Yuri Matia looking for the cross kick here. Bit of open space. Similani was running onto it. Knocked on by Lowe. He decides to kick that one out, which was a smart play. He could have deflected absolutely anywhere, but now the Stormers again with the scrum. It's going to be a good attacking position. This game in the last 5 minutes has completely changed, ladies and gentlemen. The Stormers are starting to keep their hands on the ball. And it's making all the difference for that possession stat. And you see it there, how the ball was slapped backwards. And then James Lowe having that drop ball. Managed to do enough to be able to kick it out, though. Looking at the Leinster lineup, as like the British and Irish Lions decided to play in blue. Enrico Demon, much respect, says in refield position at the moment, says Cameron, so they are going to be about 35 metres out from the Leinster line of the Tuku Machunu, getting a little bit of strapping and attention to his knee. Why do you say that was a smart play from Lowe? Just to prevent Stormers' advantage and force the scrum. Says Youngo, well, when he's dropped that ball, he had Similani chasing after it, and the next closest player was also a Stormer. So by Lowe being able to kick that ball into touch, he forces that scrum like you've said, rather than having the chance of Similani picking up that ball, breaking down the wing and scoring. So it becomes a little bit more of a stopped situation in play, because with the way that one was bouncing, had Lowe not kicked that ball out, I think Similani would have picked it up, and then it would have been a 2-on-1 with Lowe caught out of position. We have got there, other 9 Gibson Park. Says Dr. Deco, it is indeed. We have got there, go the Stormers. You can do it. Cape Town final. Come on, guys. Says Jenna. We have you there. Makes sense. Obviously, I'm hoping this only delays the score, though. Says Yanko, and it is a big push. And Leinster have almost got the steal in the scrum, but it will be a reset. Come out the tunnel, so it is out. And another scrum reset. Stormers should play for 80 minutes, not 20. Says Ruben Africa. And they didn't play a lot of rugby in that first 20 minutes, so you could argue that now they've got 60 minutes to really find that extra gear too. 9 minutes now remaining in this first half. They are down by 8. The Stormers will still have that scrum feed. Just out from Leinster's 22. This is where the needling for share on Tutuka Machunu and Andre Hugo Fenta scrum will look to really shove it hard. Yusinov, he's made his way on for the injury of Andrew Porter. Is Khan related to Satiti? I don't think so. Same kind of, I guess, facial structure though, isn't it? Between the two boys. And now nice run from Evan Russ. Moving up to 22 metres out. The Stormers going quickly to the left, but the Leinster line rushing up quickly to try and shut down any sort of attacking play of the Stormers team. Balimza almost going through. Good hands from Yuri Matia. Passes on to Similani. He decides against passing one more to Ruan now and instead goes in. Now Evan Russ, nice inside ball. Now Khan. Looking for the steal there in the breakdown. Evan Russ. Going back across to the left-hand side. Similani with the ball out to Paul de Villiers. Needs the offload. Gets it to Ben Jason Dixon, who never looked at the pass on the outside to Zas. Similani is flipping flying. From sidestep to sidestep, says Yanko. And now they're only 10 metres out from the line here for the Stormers. A lot of momentum. And that ball dropped by Damien Valimza. There will be no try for Untatuko Machunu. We have it there. If the Stormers win the final, will it be in Cape Town? Yep. Yeah, so it will be a Cape Town final if the Stormers win this game. If not, it will be taking place in Ireland. A fish without chips, roof, and tuna. And also, we have you there. Valimza, says Ruthie. All but was able to hang on to that one. And Valimza just not quite able to get that one back in. Who scored for Leinster was Rico Ioane. He did score that one. We have there another knock on out, says Benya. Those are starting to add up a little bit. We have there another knock ouch. And so many knock-ons, says Salah. A little bit of medical attention going on for James Ryan. Andre Hugo Fender just having a bit of a conversation there. To Holly Davis in Cape Town final, says House. And where are we on the field? It is going to be about 7 metres out from the Leinster line with the scrum feed in their favour. The bias is clear, says Johan, from the referee or from yourself? Currently 7 minutes now remaining. And in this first half, it's been a tight contest so far. Leinster had a majority of the possession throughout the first 20 minutes. From there, the Stormers have fought back very nicely. Well, this one won't stand, but does it seem to anyone else like Untatuka Machunu? So it's a crazy amount of tries for a prop. He's always where he needs to be to get the score. Yeah, he does. And one of those games recently, he got himself the first 2 tries of the match. He just is so hard to stop when he gets close to the line. He's got the speed of someone in that loose forward trio, but he's got the size of a prop. So, when he starts pumping his legs, he's always very difficult to get down before he reaches the line. Awesome Stormers, says Tanya. What service are you watching the game on so I can subscribe? So I am watching it on URC TV. And the penalty awarded to the Stormers at scrum time. Didn't take the hit there from Leinster. Knock-ons are so old-fashioned than for lesser teams. And also, we were there 13-8 at half-time. I think it will be a bit closer. And the Bulls, actually, to be fair, they've decided to go for the 3 here, the Stormers. Machunu used to be an 8. That's why he's so fast and hard to stop, says Neville. That does make sense then. And played Lucy at high school level. Now this will be a nice, easy kick for Yuri Matia. That one has gone over. Have you been following the New Zealand-England test, boss? Little bit. Not as much as I'd like to, just because of the time zones. But what do you think of the pitch, Sebastian? Because the amount of balls that have just skidded low on that wicket, I swear we don't normally get that many at Lords, right? My Damien Wise says busy games. We have good there, to be honest. They should have taken the risk for 5. Machunu on his knees, but gets the penalty, says Ben. Now, Evan Ruiz, nice take from him inside of the 22. And if the Stormers lose, they have themselves to blame. The last games cost them home games, but let's hope for an All-South African final, says Darby. Yeah, 13-8. Getting towards that half-time break here. 5 minutes still remaining in the first half. And Leinster have hardly been getting anything going in recent times. Hugo Keenan collided with in the air. Referee does for a second go play on, but then we'll go back for the original penalty. James gives a bark, decides to go for the quick tap, moving away to the left-hand side. Some quick shuffling feet from the number 9. He moves up to 22 out. I'm generally worried Lords will receive a demerit point from the ICC like Newlands and MCG. But yeah, the fact that that very first ball on day 1 just kind of half by died, didn't it? Which was a bit of a concern. Now Osborne goes across to Gibson Park. Sam Prendergast. Now to Hugo Keenan. Now chipping behind, attempted from Prendergast. Goes into the in-goal area. Nicely controlled by Yuri Matia to force it down. It will now be the goal line drop out. One moment, I'm about to sneeze again, ladies and gents. I'll quickly hide off to the side and mute. We are good. But yeah, they're just saying there that it was the wrong choice from Prendergast when it came to the way that they tried to attack there. This wasn't really the time to go for the chip in behind. And Yuri Matia was back there ready to cover if needed. Now Osborne doesn't have a drop goal up his sleeve in this scenario, but he gives it off to Doris. He'll move it back to only 30 metres out from the Stormers line. 3 minutes remain of this first half. And played at a quick pace for these two teams, and you'd assume that that is the type of tempo that they'll try and match in the second half as well. James Lowe down the wing, fends off Similani, gets rid of Yuri Matia, ball on the inside of Hugo Keenan, and they're only 5 metres out from the line now, Leinster. James Lowe back across to Doris. The intent has been up there a little bit more. The penalty there against Ardre Smith for off the feet in the breakdown. And Leinster there, they will receive the penalty 5 metres out. And Carter is big, says Dan. How would you rate out of 10 for the Stormers first half so far? I'll probably give them about a 5, maybe a bit lower. I think they've had a decent second 20 minutes. And the quick tap option now taken by Leinster with Ronan Kelleher, who's only 2 metres out from the line now. Now short pop pass from Josh van der Flair, a little bit of a variation play there, almost like a set piece from Leinster next to the breakdown. Now Gibson Park digging around for this ball. I think they've got the penalty advantage again. Leinster drop ball from Ioane, but they'll go back again. My fiance says, you are cute. Says busy games there. And also a sentence of words I love to hear. And how recently often at the pressure, wrong choice from Prendergast. Okay, Ruan Nell has just been told by Holly Davison any more penalties down this end of the field and someone will be going to the bin. Is there not pure evidence of a bad ref, says Johan? I don't know if I can think of a game in the URC that you haven't complained about the referee, Johan. And it's not just Holly Davidson either. It's just literally every single referee anytime a decision goes against your side. But Sam Prendergast was a great fend from James Lowe initially. And it looked like it could have been the chance to score there, but just swarmed there. Josh van der Fleer from the Netherlands? No, he's Irish. But there's going to be another chance here for Gibson Park to take the tap from 5 metres out. Our viewers need to hide their wives whilst watching your streams, you sexy devil. Says Sebastian. Now 4 metres out from the line now for Leinster. Another chance. Just out from the goal line. Yuzinov. Going to be still playing on here. Stormers looking for the steal and the breakdown, but they have to do it legally. Because if they don't, that's very close to the line for Josh van der Fleer. About 1 metre out now for Leinster. They need to learn the word. I know the word. I've been called it many times. So, yeah, I just don't say it because I know what it means. About a metre out from the line now. Chance here for Leinster to strike right at the end of the first half. Picked up for Joe McCarthy. Again, inches away from the try line. Gibson Park firing it out left. Sam Prendergast. He holds on to the ball there and is swarmed by Khan and Yuri Matia. We're going to have to say it again. Wrong choice from Sam Prendergast. And now the counter-attacking chance for the Stormers as they look to kick it downfield with Similani. It's a very good clearing kick. But a massive mistake from Leinster on attack. Howdy, what did I miss? It's been a hectic pace. But the Stormers, they had to defend like their competition depended on it. They're just out from the line, but Sam Prendergast, I'm not sure what the initial plan was there in terms of the attack. It just seemed to lose a lot of metres, Dry Tone Stormers. And we have the wrong choice from Prendergast, says Yanko. But Similani to get a decent amount of distance on that kick. Only 5 points difference between these two sides as Leinster win the line out at the front. And it's the halftime siren. Prendergast goes across to Jamie Osborne, tackled by Russ in the middle of the field. Do Leinster kick this out? Or do they go for one last attack close to the sideline? Deegan tries to keep the ball alive. Risky play there. Going to be picked back up by Leinster. Now, put in the pocket. They will kick this one out now. And super defence, says Cool Story. Great defence leads to arrogance. Couldn't help there, or could help here. They should have taken the 3 after the second penalty, says Ben. And as we have there, don't Stormers tend to play better in the second half. They have had a pretty decent second half record, although they haven't got the best away record, the Stormers, so they are going to need a big performance. But being down by 5 after having like 15% of the possession for the first 20 minutes of the game, you probably do take that. Means we're very disappointing in that second 20, says Studs Rays. Yeah, it was almost a half of 2 halves. I love the Harley Davidson factor. Progress which rugby needs, says Red Hell. And also, I am a Bulls fan, so I don't know what's better. Also, South African final or the Bulls going to Leinster on their home ground. Yeah, I think, like either way though, the Bulls have done, yet again, some brilliant work to get through to another URC final. They've had plenty of them. Would it not be more simple if rules applied equally? I assume you're talking the laws of the game, right? And about 2 minutes behind the play, that normally happens due to URC TV having that little bit more of a delay than the live coverage. But you've been doing well in the case of not giving away any spoilers. It is greatly appreciated, isn't it? Pronounced Prendergast or Gast. Says dime till death, probably. We have there Johan Chill. The Stormers have been robbed, says Johan. Sure they have. We have there, unfortunately, overseas. They bad second half, too long. Cardiff, Ulster. Can they change that today? Imagine the Stormers learning how to catch rugby balls and not knock on every 5 metres away from the try line. Imagine how many games they would win this season. See, I like that perspective, though, you know, because it's very easy to go, oh, it's the ref's fault. You know, the ref's the reason we're losing. But you've also got to look at that handling error count of the Stormers, and that is a big factor as to why they are not in the lead in this contest. The fact that they have just not been able to hang on to that ball efficiently. throughout the first half. Of course, that is something that they can fully control. You can't control what decisions a referee is going to give you and which ones they aren't. But you can control if you hang on to the ball. And if you hang on to the ball, you normally do pretty well in terms of the game of rugby. But knock-ons, there have been plenty of them throughout their first 40. Johan is elite level troll. The sad thing is he's not joking. You know, some people like to play off the whole, like, trolling because they find it funny in terms of, like, blaming the ref for everything. Johan is, like, serious. Like, nothing he has said has been a lie in his mind as of yet. Cape Town final, please, says Dan. Agree Stormers must catch the ball. Says Martin, the reason the Stormers are knocking it on so much is because of the ref. We have them at the Aviva listening to you. Can you start the second half 45 seconds early? Cheers. Possibly not. Might get a little bit tricky. Unless I just try and play a bit of a prediction game and decide to guess what happens before it does. That could be a possibility. Rieko Ioane scoring the early try for Leinster. Oof. Says Vampy. It's the ref's fault I'm a virgin, says Cool Story. So I've got no problemo catching balls, says Sock. But the one try for the Stormers in this first half, it came in the form of Ardre Smith. Still have to give props to the Stormers' final defensive effort. Absolutely. The way that they defended at the end of the first half tells me well and truly they still feel like they've got a chance to win this game. Now, if they rolled over and just allowed Leinster to bust their way through, then you'd say that the Stormers, their heart wasn't in it, but they are well and truly up for this fight, which is what you need in a second half away from home. We saw the Bulls do it, and now the Stormers are going to do it again. Bloody refs say they obviously don't know the rules and always have a favourite team that is the Northern Hemisphere. Says Fleshin. Oh. That was a pretty bad voice crack, that one. The voice is pretty much gone at this point. I'm not going to try and say your name again because or else it might go up. Like, just as Stormers need a second half like the Bulls, absolutely. And if they can do that, they'll book themselves a South African derby in the final of the URC. Bulls not on, of course, absolutely. We have got their Stormers would have won 5 URC titles already if they had not played with Slippery Bulls. And Lowell says Vampy. And we're talking about rugby balls, the way that they are playing. I'm sure that they are catching the wrong type of balls. Or perhaps they could just carry around the sacks. Says KTM. We have got their ref's fault, your voice cracked, says Vampy. And the ref stole my dinner, says Big Rig. And the 2-1 moment, I'm about to sneeze again, so I'll very quickly mute. We are good. I'm glad I muted. That was one of the weirdest sounding sneezes I've ever done. I don't even know what that noise was. I'm blaming the ref for this rain here now, says Dennis. And also, where'd that one go? It was the Reds. There's a reason why Leinster can't win a final. Ref stole my button, says Demon. The Stormers must catch the balls. We have got there. Can you show me the screen? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube. But I can tell you at the moment, Leinster are leading 13 points to 8. They scored the early try of Rieko Ioane. The Stormers fire back with the try of Ardre Smith. And currently both sides have opted for a penalty or two, trying to add the additional 3s. We got there. Pollard, Moody and Carr. It was very good for Glasgow today. They almost won it for the Scots. And also, we have there. If the ref is a professional, she should provide a professional service. That is the only standard. Could you guys make sense of how she is blowing the scrums? That is pathetic, says Johan. Well, some referees interpret a scrum differently. And I think at the moment, scrum penalties probably sitting about 50-50 right in this contest. In fact, I think Stormers have won 3, maybe Leinster have won 1 in the scrum department. But yeah, some referees look for different things in the scrums. That's the beauty of the world of rugby, is the laws are that intricate and that technical that sometimes something that one referee looks for, the other referee doesn't. So, you know, there's probably decisions that she's made in the open play that some referees wouldn't have given, but were the right decisions. That's the kind of thing. It's called adapting to the referee. You listen to what the ref says and you adapt and you play in the fashion that they want you to play in. because at the end of the day, play to the whistle, you're probably going to have a couple things go your favour. I don't think it's allowed for a ref to blow a scrum, says Avampi. And also, we have got their balls are trampling those beers tonight. Imagine those Scottish pubs. For a moment, I'm about to sneeze again, so we'll quickly mute once more. We are good, hopefully. But the second half of this contest, I would say, is around about 7 or 8 minutes away, maybe a little bit closer. And 2 cracking semi-finals. I hope the Bulls win. The URC final, no team has won 2 URC titles. Says Kahu. And yeah, if Leinster were to win this game, they have also got the chance of going back-to-back. I'm so confused about the cricket. The day was completely rained off for day 3, so they'll be coming back for day 4. Your dedication, Amos. Cheers, dude. I hope you're better soon. Get a Kleenex sponsorship. Says Scott. Yeah, I mean, a tissue sponsor, Lemsip. Someone said earlier on, what's your final score prediction for the second half? Well, I think that Leinster were poor in the second 20 and the Stormers were solid in that second 20. So if momentum's a thing, the Stormers may come out firing in the second half. But I do think Leinster have got more points in them. So for me, the safe prediction is probably about, I'd say 28-20 or somewhere around there, I would say. At least you're not as sick as last time. That's true. Like, it's not ideal, but I'm still like, I'm feeling fine. We've done another all-nighter, which I'm wide awake from. It's probably because I've consumed a whole heap of honey. That's got a lot of sugar in it, doesn't it? But, like, yeah, in terms of sleepiness, I'm completely fine. It's just the voice that doesn't want to work, unfortunately. I wouldn't have done streams if I felt sick. Thanks for the stream, says Kevin. And yeah, we've been sick a fair amount this year, so it's kind of become the new norm. But legit, if the Stormers win this game, it would be the biggest knockout rounds of the URC since it started. Yeah, the 2 underdogs getting the victories. What's your final score prediction? 28-20 is what I'll go with. And cricket explained by an Afrikaner. Maybe I should do one of my Pretoria accent. And I've always heard NordVPN are the best non-controversial YouTube sponsor. All the big YouTubers praise them. Says Big Rig. And also kicking points are vital. Pollard nearly threw it away. Says Sean. Yeah, although he did get a couple kicks over earlier on in the game, which in the end I guess you could say was the difference too. But yeah, Leinster have turned down a few 3-pointers throughout this contest. They've been opting more so towards the 7-point option, but they haven't actually been able to score many of those options throughout this game as of yet. Your dedication is very lekker, Hamish. Thanks, bud. Says Vampy. You should have hot tea, says Sophia. That's probably not a bad idea. Currently 5:30 a.m. in New Zealand. That's the kind of time that someone would have a tea, isn't it? Maybe. They're doing a bit of a light show at the Aviva. Chuck a bit of honey in that cup too, of course. And we have either the Bulls were lucky after Pollard's performance. CSW, I think it's a lack of sleep that is making your immune system weak and sick. Yeah, that's probably bang on the money, I would say. I think that all-nighters on a weekend probably doesn't equate to great health in terms of general living. We have got there, what was Polly's final kick? 3 from 6, I think. Yeah, about 50%. A lack of sleep gives Hamish his Spider-Man powers. Let's give Leinster laxatives, says Neil. Just celebrating the Stormers, welcoming them back out onto the field. So we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. At the moment, Leinster are still favourites, of course. I know Hamish is sleeping too much. They can commentate more games, says Xander. And said Nokia wanted to go for the corner all 3 times. He overrode Nokia and Pollard made the wrong call 3 times in a row. And very odd considering the experience. However, there, Glasgow, very lucky. Iceman did not take his kicks. Could have been 30 points to 21. Pollard in an interview said he went when he gets tired, he starts missing kicks. Pollard made the right decision each time. He just missed the kicks. There's Justin. And there as well. But the Leinster flags are waving. Currently 5 points difference between these two sides heading into the second 40 minutes. Joe McCarthy, has he dyed his beard at halftime? It looks a little bit more ginger than I remember it. But he's ready to go for the second half. He almost scored right at the end. But like I said, Leinster, slight favourites at this point in time. But the Stormers are not out of this game whatsoever by the looks of it. The whistle is blown. Sam Prendergast kicks us off for the second 40 minutes. Leinster had a good first 20 of the last contest. A lot of possession during that time. Awkward bouncing ball. And it's going to go into touch. Leinster have got themselves the first line out of the half. Hi, how are you, says one. I'm doing very well, thank you. 1 second, I'm about to sneeze though, so I'll very quickly mute. 1 second. There's about 3 in a row, that one. But going away to the left-hand side, O'Brien popping the ball up to Jameson Gibson Park. And a penalty awarded early on to the Stormers. Glad to join your commentary, says Gideon. And yeah, it's greatly appreciated you all being here. Of course, if you are new, be sure to leave that like and subscribe. The ball's won, all that matters, says VJB. Yeah, I think there would have been a lot more talk about those missed kicks had they lost that game. But, I mean, they got the job done. And they're through to the final. It was Paul de Villiers who managed to get that steal in the breakdown. Hasn't managed to find touch, though, which does give Leinster the chance to be able to kick this ball back. And go the Stormers, says Gideon. And there as well, going back with the kicking battle. Sam Prendergast. O'Brien chases after this one. It's going to be awkward, but it's taken nicely by the Stormers. Need some early tries in the second half, says KSW. Now Valimza pumping his legs. Being tackled by Jameson Gibson Park. Now Ahmad Khan. Told to use it. Oh. That one's almost gone backwards. In fact, it has almost for Ahmad Khan there. Though Leinster managing to take that ball back with James Ryan. Just getting that one slightly wrong, Khan. With his angle, no Samamura. He plays badly. Says Adri, that one's going to be a Waikato pass, Gibson Park. Been speeding up the tempo in this second half so far. Low is wanting them to check the review to see whether or not it was grubbing, and it looks like Leinster will have the line out. Pollard can't always be perfect. He always shows up when it counts. Never dismiss Pollard. Exactly right. And, you know, it's been mentioned about how now they're in the final, that man will be able to do exactly what Pollard does and take those opportunities, get them over a majority of the time. Let's go Leinster, says Cameron. Looks like a bit of an injury here for that is Caelan Doris down. Let's go Leinster. And everyone can have a bad day, says Big Ringer. And also the Stormers from Ruth. Seems like there's still a relatively even split in terms of the support for both of these sides. Gibson Park so far, he's made 55 metres himself. He's had 44 passes made. Hasn't been able to score a try as of yet. Now we have you there. Hamish, do you need to be substituted? It's getting tough to listen to you talk to yourself. Research pneumonia because you're putting yourself into it. So here's down south. Yeah, although I get replacements and then I get more stick for replacing myself. So, you know, it's normally like better to be here sick than it is to have someone else come on and have them get... Oh, Leo Cullen's just dropped his bottle down the back of the desk. Poor fellow. I am about to sneeze again, though, so I'll very quickly mute. 1 moment, ladies and gents. The sneezing is kicked in for the second half. 1 second, we'll go like that. No. We are good. We can get Hamish to say Afrikaans swear words anymore. Well, sorry, we can't get him to say them. He's sees right through it. Yeah, well, I've been called most of them, so I know most of the words. But now Ronan Kelleher. Ready for this line-out throw again for Leinster. The Viva crowd starting to get that little bit louder. They know how close they are to a potential home final. Now, whether or not it is actually going to be at the Aviva is still a bit of a wait-and-see situation. I believe has already been booked for something else. I can't remember what it is that was going to be at the Aviva instead. The ball on the side of Leinster, Sam Prendergast. Again, going with the high shot, or the high ball. And a take there from Hugo Keenan. It seemed like Limser actually made the ground. Then just overran it a little bit. Great kick from Gibson Park. Bounces it into touch. Forces the Stormers back into their own 22. Has that ability anywhere on the field, whether he's in his own half or in the opposition's. And just bounces that ball into touch. And when they play Lecker, they score Lecker, says Neo. Andre Hugo Fenta, this is a crucial line out for this team. We hear the Leinster chant going around the Aviva at the moment. Whose ball it is? Andre Hugo Fentas for the Stormers. Now Ahmad Khan goes back across to Evan Russ. Bumps off Ronan Kelleher. And come on, the Stormers make us proud, says Cheslin. Now, Ahmad Khan. Again, he hasn't got the distance on it. That one's only gone a couple metres once more. Now, Ronan Kelleher. It's on the side of Gibson Park and his Leinster back line. James Lowe knocks that ball on. Picked up by Limser. Now, De Villiers looking to the short side off to Andre Hugo Fenta. Gone 5 minutes throughout the second half without a single point being scored. Leinster getting up very quickly, potentially offside. Similani driven sideways. The tackle of Max Deegan 40 metres out for their own line. Now the Stormers with Yuri Matia. In bad position for the Stormers. I just see Murat as an impact player, says, and I think that man, anytime you mention him, people get offended. The final will be in Croke Park, Dublin, according to RTE. Yeah, so it is either going to be the Bulls playing in Ireland, or we will get to see them potentially go back to South Africa to take on the Stormers as well. South Africa's team, slight disadvantage because so many best players are playing abroad. South Africa teams should be dominating Europe, but the weak rand means that we have no depth, says Albert. You not score a single point. It's 3 or 5 or 7, Hamish, says Kevin. What sentence did I say that I said they'd score a point? I'd assume there would have been an S on the end, though, in that sentence, whatever it was, wouldn't it? Now Paul De Villiers pops it up there to Damien Valimza. He's been stripped of the possession. And another advantage. That is for the knock-on. Davison allowing Leinster to play this one out for a little bit of time here. Gibson Park back across to the right. Prendergast, is that deliberate from Zas? I think it's just ruled as the knock-on. And there's a possibility that if the Stormers can take the lead, they might be able to mentally get the confidence to put this off or to pull this off. Okay, they're actually going upstairs here to check whether or not there is a potential deliberate knockdown. Right, did Zas get a decent hand to it? It's a tricky one because there is a bit of an overlap on the outside. But he almost looked like he got 2 hands to that there, Zas. Oh no, sorry, just the one hand. From the other angle it looked like 2, but that one is just the singular. Is this going to be a yellow card? Kind of sounds that way. Media seem to be saying it'll be Croke Park, whatever that is. Leinster win the home finals. I think that's the same location as they were at for either the Champions Cup last year or the URC. In fact, yeah, I think it was the URC final. But there's the yellow card in a big moment. We have you there that he went with both hands. And what could he do? I've seen people slap it down with one hand, that's clear. That absolutely isn't. One hand was closer. We have you there, yellow, unfortunately, says cool story. And yes, Hamish, you just mentioned the name Mora. And people start blaming the ref, says Xander. Zas will now spend the next 10 minutes from the field, and this is where Leinster will look to pounce. We saw Glasgow score a lot of points in their game up against the Bulls during those crucial minutes Croke Park is 80,000 capacity in Dublin. Do you think they'd sell it out up against the Bulls? Or do you think it would be a similar crowd to this one at the Aviva? There'd be a few more, right? I actually thought that this crowd would have been a bit bigger at the Aviva for today. Sama Murat will make his way onto the field. Right, it's actually been Jason Dixon who's going to make his way on. Oh, sorry, make his way off. Right, what's happened here? Connie Evans is off. That is for Marcel Tennyson, so I think they were just getting a little bit confused. And Zaz says Adri, and the Stormers should stick to the plan. They adopted midway first half, says Ruben. Time is back on, though. Leinster about 12 metres out. But yeah, that second half of the first, they did very well. And they started getting the possession. Now, no advantage in play at the moment. Kelleher going back across to Gibson Park. Jamie Osborne tackled in the midfield. They need that big turnover, something that you normally see from someone like a Paul de Villiers. But for now, they've also got to defend like their semi-final depends on it. Now, nice step from Prendergast. Back in, trying to avoid the touchline. Now, Gibson Park gets it away to Kelleher. He has to join the breakdown there, Gibson Park, to try and keep it on their side. But the Stormers just losing the footing. And also, they must give Prendergast more balls so that he can make the wrong decisions. Says Yanko, all fly kick there from Imad Khan. The ball sits up for him. It's going to become a foot race. Him versus Hugo Keenan. Keenan chases him down with about 30 metres remaining. And it's another knock on from the Stormers. The shame Stormers do not have Cheslin Colby here. Says Dion, and now a counter-attacking chance for Leinster. Joe McCarthy. Brilliant one-on-one tackle from Salma Murat as he stopped the counter-attack from Leinster right in its tracks. It's quite the effort defensively from both teams. The Hugo Keenan chase back alongside the one-on-one tackle from Murat. Gibson Park will just go for the box kick now, slowing this one back down a little bit. Good take from Damien Valimza under the high ball. Now Murat tackled by James Ryan. And James also played for New Zealand. If he returned back to New Zealand, I think you'd have to have a 3-year stand down. So by that stage, he'd probably be close to retiring. That looked like playing a man off the ball from the Leinster side. Come on, Leinster, says Lasso, and good run and good tackle. Says Ben there. Now back into the pocket. Uh-oh, that's going to hurt. Gibson Park just got hit in the side of the head by his teammate. It becomes accidental offside, and it will be the scrum feed. Okay, they've just said there that there was a trip. No foul play. But that was an awkward one. Prendergast just sconed Jameson Gibson Park in the side of the head. Oh, he wasn't even looking to. Gibson Park just gets smacked straight in the side of the Swede. And yeah, it would probably rupture an eardrum with how quick that one was going into him. They might need to HIA him in this case. That was not a nice collision there. Accidental charge down by his teammate's head. Yeah, a bit of a brutal one too. That was funny, says Albert. And can you not see that Leinster was offside with the box kick? Says Johan. And is Ronan related to Byron? No, don't think so. Colby is coming home in June. Ollie Davison once again having the conversation. Gibson Park, I shouldn't laugh, but he is getting a head injury assessment at the moment from one of the doctors to make sure that he is going to be all right. And we have there Johan Jacobs, relax, only a game, buddy, says Ben. And their rugby is finished, says Giovanni. And OHIA, I think they've just assessed him. And it seems like he's going to be all right to continue. Prendergast probably not liked by his own teammates. I don't think he'll be liked by Gibson Park at the moment with the fact that he got sconed in the side of the head. But it does bring an accidental offside scrum in favour of the Stormers. They will be 22 metres out from the line. Still plenty of time left on the clock. Around 30 minutes remain in the semi-final. We need Sasha, says Giovanni. Was sadly injured at the moment. No chance for him to be able to come back yet. Should be there for the start of next year's URC, though, or next season of the URC competition. Ahmad Khan. That one's gone down again. This game's close enough, though, that if the Stormers get themselves a try now and convert, they can actually be up by 2 with about 25 minutes remaining. Are you streaming the Sevens? We will certainly be doing the Sevens games tomorrow. There is South Africa versus France, New Zealand versus Spain in the men's semi-finals, Fiji versus USA in the 5th place playoff game. A few other sides lower ranked as well. I think some of those games are still taking place now. Currently, Argentina. Germany beat Kenya. Kenya might miss out on the top 8, which would not be ideal. Jan enjoys watching rugby on own. He has an access to his own personal reality. Now the big scrum. It's going to be a reset, just a little bit of movement there. Some hard heads perform better after an HIA, says Henry. I mean, look at Leicester Fainanuku. The way that he played in that game. South Africa champs already, says Nuno. So we have got the Bulls through to the final in terms of the URC next week. But at this stage, the Stormers are not confirmed as the second side. And Samuel Murat is man of the match. He's actually come off the bench and done very well here. Murat, I know a lot of people don't like giving him credit where credit is due, but he did stop a counter-attack. He's made a couple crucial tackles already. In the Sevens. Yes, sorry, yep. Because of Argentina missing out on the quarterfinals, they have no chance of catching up to the South Africans. So the big solid scrum again from the Stormers. They have got themselves the penalty advantage. Evan Roos breaking off the back before being tackled by Josh van der Flair. Only 28 minutes on the clock. Ahmad Khan goes over the top to Yuri Matia, pops it in behind to Valimza. Bit of a standing start for him, so they will return for the penalty. Right. If you're the Stormers, do you go for the 3 here? Or do you go for the 7? I think the kicking tee's coming on. One second, we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. One moment, I'm about to sneeze again, so I'll hide away. Yeah, good. I think I've actually sneezed more on this live stream than I did throughout the whole weekend. But Yuri Matia, 22 metres out from the line, does get it over, and that'll make the score now 13 points to 11. 2 points between these two sides. Go for the 7 points, says Anthony. And someone was hyping up for Limbs before the game, which hasn't quite panned out. And not as disastrous of a game as Polly, or nothing special either. Why not a penalty for the Stormers Eugeniuses? They just got awarded the penalty, Johan. Like they literally got it. 28-20 in whose favour? Depends on who wins here. I'll let you know at the end. Good decision. Says Cries in there. And in a semi, you go for the 3. Yeah, it's a good choice. Definitely when you're 22 metres out. Now Evan Roos claiming that ball nicely just outside of his 22. And come on the Stormers, says Horses Lover. Now waiting for this one to come down. Jamie Osborne's knocked it on. So it seems like the knock-on train has gone from the Stormers station to the Leinster station for the second half. Seen a few more drop balls go on the way of Leinster. Only still another 2.5 minutes remaining of that Stormers yellow card, which is another reason why you consider that 3 points. Hamish, it is winter, so go for the sneeze, says Gideon. As we are, they're going to be tough, but the Stormers can do this. And 13-11 is too close for Southern Comfort. And Josh van der Flair, he will make his way from the field, which is, I'd say, much earlier than we are used to seeing him replaced. Ahmad Khan has the scrum feed here, about 36 metres out from their own line here, the Stormers. And Clarkson has also come off the field. That is for Slimani. And come on, boys, says Horses Lover. A lot of conversation going on at the scrum. I can hear both sides just yapping away to each other and maybe to their teammates. Come on, Leinster, says Dazza. And it's another scrum reset. Seems like there's a little bit of frustration at scrum time for these two sides currently. Bless you, says Vampy and Josh Van der Fleur's grandparents. Were born in the Netherlands and moved to Ireland in the 1950s, says Albert. And are you supporting Leinster Rugby or DHL Stormers? I mean, I think for the URC's sake, it's good to have two sides from different countries in a final rather than like a derby. But I also don't think that Leinster have fully cemented this game at all in terms of, like, there hasn't been any sort of dominant fashion other than that first 20 minutes. They only got the one try of Rico Ioane during that time. And Hamish says, Andre, that is a free kick on the way of the Stormers. 2 points is a better lead to challenge. Come on, the Stormers. And Modric should play club rugby. Says, not so far. We'll tell you what, I would take him off the bench in this game every day of the week. And I talked about it earlier on, the way that sometimes people do just try to neglect anything that he has done right. But he stopped a counter-attack from Leinster, which I think had about a 75% chance that Leinster would have scored off. He made a couple other crucial tackles just after he made his way onto the field that stopped a line break for Leinster, as well as one of their big forwards. So he's actually had one of his more solid games. Another tackle made by Selma Murat, this time on James Ryan, and it almost brought the opportunity for the turnover for Paul de Villiers. Now Caelan Norris driven backwards. Hugo Keenan. How does Sasha get hurt? Trying to run around and make the kick a little bit easier in the in-goal area up against Cardiff. Stormers is going to win. Says Ethan and points to the bag. Now in the hands of Evan Russ. Well, still on the side of the Stormers team. I want the Stormers to win the game now, says Jackie. I'm moving it across again. Yuri Matia goes to Similani. Rush defense from, I want to say it was Jimmy O'Brien. And they'll go back for the initial knock on. And I'm not too sure who knocked the ball on there. That was my impression of you sneezing, says Henry. I believe in the Stormers, says Ethan there too. Oh. Okay, Holly Davidson has just had a stern talking to one of the Stormers players. She has just said, if you keep on questioning my decisions, we're going to have a problem. Last 20 minutes is crucial for the Stormers, absolutely, and we are close to that final 20 minutes. It's been a low-scoring game at the Aviva. See there, burners on for Prendergast. Stormers not playing attacking rugby for ages now. Duplessis brothers were the last ones. Stormers only scored 70 tries. South Africa's best attacking for many years. Bulls scored 91 already. The Bulls are behind the Stormers. And Stormers should go only for threes from now or push for tries. It's a bit of a tricky one to decide on because the situation you're in, right, is like they took threes up against Cardiff in that last round of the regular season. And it cost them because they went into their shell. And then when Cardiff started scoring points, the Stormers just couldn't get enough back. So this is one of those games that I think it really comes down to the decision of where it is on the field. If it is an easy tap over, you take it every day of the week because of the fact that they're down by 2. But if it's one where you're a little bit more 50-50 about whether it's going over or whether you should potentially look at the other option of 7, I think they might consider 7s, the Stormers here. Gisborne Park around the halfway line. Time left at the moment, still 59 minutes past, so 21 minutes remaining on the halfway line for Jameson Gibson Park. Again, we'll go for that box kick. That's been a key factor for both of these sides throughout this half. Valimza knocks it backwards into the hands of Dan Duplessis. Didn't get his next offload away. It's called a sneeze break, says Ruben. And quarter every day, says Big Rig. And sorry to see James Lowe leaving Leinster. Yeah, although he's taken a record with him, the most tries out of any Leinster player. And himself that double last week up against the Lions. Another box kick. Another one slapped back by Damien Valimza, but it will result in the Leinster line out. See, I would say that the Stormers have actually been doing that little bit better under the high ball. But the problem that they've got is when the ball's deflecting like that, because they're getting the touch on it, it does give Leinster the line out. As you say, he tried hard. Nice week there, James Lowe, no loss. Says Martin. Now De Villiers being taken off for the final 20. This is a big call. Bringing on Ruan Ackerman. And nothing wrong with powdering nose, I assume that is, from Enrico. And the motor hunters or haters can moan all they want. Luckily, Rusty is the one who decides. Says Neil. Currently, Caelan Norris. He breaks through Evan Russ and moves up to 25 metres out. This is the best attack that Leinster have had in quite some time. O'Brien with the draw and pass. Low flicks it on the inside to Jamieson Gibson Park. And again, they'll be dragged down just short Leinster. About 15 metres from the line. Yusanov and on the ball, Evan Russ wins the turnover penalty after missing the initial tackle. He does get one back for his side. And Yuri to win it with a drop in the last minute, says Ben. We have there which team is Lowe going to. He is going to the Stormers. Wilco Lowe, if that's the one that we're talking about. We have there Stormers may play better when they're down to 14. Maybe one player should do a deliberate knock on. I think we've still got one more yellow card in this game, I have a feeling. 19 minutes remaining. And Stormers play better. Oh no, I read that one. And that's as Stormers has taken the game. Yeah, that may have been that one big moment as to why we saw Paul de Villiers go off and Ruiz stay on. Great steal from Ruiz. Try saving, says Ben. What's the weather like in Leinster? It was 14 degrees and cloudy. The ball's stolen, though, by the Leinster line-out. Just seems like both of these sides are almost on the verge of scoring, but then they just don't. Which brings for a very intriguing last kind of 18 minutes of this contest. Gibson Park again going for the box kick. That's something that Leinster maybe have done a little bit too much in this game. The fact that they haven't won too many in the air, but again, it bounces off Damien Valimza and goes into touch. It's happening at the moment quite often when that ball is near the sideline. Valimza gets the touch, but then it just goes out. And Leinster get that territory gain. We see it there. Brilliant steal from Max Deegan using every inch of his frame. Low celebrating like he did anything, says Yanko. Yeah, I think he put the pressure on Valimza. Made him a little bit less safe under that high ball. We're about to find out whether or not that big moment there does make the difference on the Leinster score sheet. Now Kelleher, they go to the front with a set piece. Does have to cut back in so that he doesn't get driven into touch. Gibson Park back across again. Harry Byrne with a bit of shuffling before being dragged down by Rus. We also do see Ngure has made his way onto the field. That is for Ahmad Khan. Now to the right again. Moving it on to Gary Ringrose, a man who recently made his way onto the field for Leinster as well. And Ireland has plastic energy, says NTN, and they're going to need every ounce of energy that they can muster here if they want to win. Up against the Stormers at the Aviva. Big collision on Joe McCarthy. Tackled by Matongo. Ackerman saying that he was being held there. Oh, they're still being held there. Jack Conan, and there's a little bit of push off the ball. That's a dumb move from Harry Byrne, just giving the ball straight back. I don't know what Leinster's obsession is today with little grubbers and chip kicks, but it has been the worst possible tactic that they could have gone for in this game. It has given up possession about 5 times throughout the first 63 minutes. And Porthen putting on a couple of really good shots, says Yanko. And also, Let's Go says CSW. James Lowe wins the aerial challenge over Damien Valimza. It was a strong, tall and fast. That's the commentating. Holsick and pulling all-nighter, says Long Koo. Yeah, we are going to be back for the 7s tomorrow as well. I think my voice is actually starting to come right, surprisingly, as this match has progressed. Gibson Park to the left again to James Ryan. And come on the Stormers, it's try time. Leinster are so bad, says Yonks. Yeah, they've been on the verge of scoring multiple times and just can't get over that line. I think that is a massive credit to the way that the Stormers have defended in this game. That moment in the first half when they were defending on their own goal line, stopping any chance of Leinster bulldozing over, that was a big game-changing type of kind of I think it was 15 phases or so. The ball is still going to be on the side of this Leinster team, though. Rico Ioane goes through. It was a flat pass, missed tackle. Ioane thought about his offload, pops it up to Gibson Park. They move into the 22 here, Leinster. Moura, another crucial tackle made by him on Slimani. Cut out pass, Leinster almost fumbling the ball. They held on to by Kelleher. Hey, get me sound better now. Says Albert. And what's now perfect, Namish? You don't have to fake injuries with us. Says Xander. Now the ball on the outside to Hugo Keenan. He knew he was close to the sidelines. So had to cut back in. He manages to do just that. I think that could have been against Valimza for playing the ball while on the turf. The crowd are not happy about it, but it has been kicked way down the field now. Leinster in possession. Great pickup from Gary Ringrose, and he smashed over. Yuri Matia, knee injury here. He is in a lot of pain, and that is not good news for the Stormers side after just recently losing Sasha. The Honey is doing its job, Amish, says Andre. And the Stormers show they have that dog in them in defence, says Yonks. Ball's still there, and again, the box kick from Gibson Park, about 40 metres out from their own line, going high-low, is trying to go after it. It looks like he's also fighting cramp at the moment, but Valimza takes that one uncontested, steps around James Lowe, counter-attack and run here from the Stormers. Straight in the breakdown was Caelan Doris, but couldn't quite get that steal. Evan Ross rushed defence, throws the pass to Haaland, finds Ruan Nel, and he's looking for a 50-22, and he gets it, Ruan Nel. And as a brilliant kick. Again, Leinster, these kicks, they just don't seem like the best option. Yuri will walk it off. Says Albert, feels like Leinster are going to be disappointed in this performance tonight. They 100% will be, because they've just made some pretty poor choices. Here we go, says the Grey 619. Yeah, Yuri Matia still getting some attention on that leg. I think they're going to be checking out that knee. Yeah, that would have hurt. The way that one bent at an awkward angle, and he knew it straight away. Yuri Matia. Looks like they're going to try and give him some strapping, though, around that limb and try and keep him playing for the rest of the game. We're there, 50-22, says Johnny Blaze. And there as well. And Stormers' best game plan is make it ugly. Was how they bet the Bulls at Loftus. They have done it here also. Now they need a magic moment to win it. And Uriano going off. Seems like the amount of strapping that they're putting on his leg, they want him to continue. Looks like Kelleher is also down. May end up playing a majority of the full 80 here. Gus McCarthy would be his replacement. Great kick by now, says Ben. You're just spotting the space in behind, and it was because of that initial counter-attack from Damien Valimza's run. Really hoping that Motor has a great game. He's a great lock. The Box need him. He's had one of his better games for the Stormers that I've seen off the bench. How many minutes are left at the moment? 14 minutes remain in this contest. Great semis, to be honest. Yeah, close ones as a whole. Both games could have gone either way, and there's still time for something to change near the end. 14 minutes left on the clock here. This game is so flat. Why? Great players on the park. Says Kevin. And couldn't get Sasha get injured in the last 5 minutes of the final game. What a bad time to be injured. And also, who you call it, says Kevin. I think Stormers now have the momentum after that 50-22. Now, JJ Kutsia throws this ball in. It is well taken at the front of the line out. Now, Nkura, drop ball from Matongo, but it does go backwards. Leinster on the ball with Slimani, and it's another penalty for the home side. And we have got there, these are serious nail biters, says the Grey. And also we've got there, no, it's too close and giving me anxiety, man, says Xander. Yeah, this one's going down to the final minute, I can tell you that right now. Neither of these sides have fully cemented anything throughout the second half. I think we've only seen the 3 points for the Stormers. Other than that, nothing else has been scored here. Leinster will be 40 metres out from their own line. And my blood is blue. Stormers has it in the bag, says Tumunda. It's going to be one big moment that determines this game, whether that's going to be a yellow card, whether that's going to be a missed tackle or a perfect line break. Someone is going to have the moment. And could it be this? The line out steal from the Stormers, taking it back off Leinster around the halfway line. They're going box kick as well here. Inside of Leinster's half, but they have decided the up and under is the tactic. Not deciding against going too deep, making it contestable. But going up for the ball, Jimmy O'Brien knocks it backwards, taken by Deegan there, just outside of his 22. Hoping the Stormers can find some magic now. 1 point, South African win coming. It's definitely possible. 14-13. Could be on the cards. Rugby is losing today. Says Ruben. And Stormers make a break. Says Gideon and Gibson Park. Again, we'll kick this one downfield. Good distance on that kick too. Taken by Watakalant at the back. He's got Valimza on his flank, who charges up the field. Big driving tackle. Huge clean out from Ruan Ackerman, who came from a mile back like a freight train. Now Similani. Well, no, in fact, it's going to be Ruan now. Receives the pass from Hilland and almost turned into a rolling. More good physicality from Leinster then again. The boxing match is 1 Pierre Bosch. And come on, Leinster, says Jason, the penalty. A double blow of the whistle. We've got a time off here. I think that's going to be for that clean out of Ruan Ackerman. Oh no, actually, might be for the Keller clean out. No, it is the Ruan Ackerman clean out initially. He came flying in from a mile back, like I said. It's not looking good for the Stormers, sadly. We have got how the F can a bad team like Leinster win the Stormers. Are you actually looking at the same game as in the Leinster side, who are the defending champs, right? Oh, that's not that bad from Ruan Ackerman. Don't get me wrong, he flies in from a mile back, like I said. Actually, replay of that one makes it look much worse. That's a clean out right to the head of Ronan Kelleher. It's going to be a yellow card and off-field review here. And Stormers know the end is near just over 10 minutes, says Kevin. It's a shoulder charge, says Albert. Yeah, that second angle made it look much worse than the first. For the start, I thought he had got him shoulder to shoulder, but no, he got shoulder straight to the head. Whoever their red card, says Cameron. I did say with 20 minutes remaining, we would still see a yellow card in this game in the closing moments. And Timo says rematch ban in contrast between Super Rugby Pacifica and the URC finals scored so far, says Scott. Yeah, so Super Rugby, much higher games in terms of the scoreline, but URC much closer matches between the teams. And we have got there, I don't really understand the anti-Murat sentiment in South Africa. Come on, South Africa, surely we've grown past all this. He's a person who's earned a Bok jersey, says Robert. Yeah, he seems to have a fan club of the ones who just don't like anything that he does. But I'll say it again. I think he's actually been thoroughly impressive off the bench in this game. And he's had some crucial moments that have stopped Leinster from getting themselves potential tries. And some people who don't like him would just go, nah, you're just making it up. Didn't happen. But it has, and he's been pretty strong. Now throwing that one in. Nice take from James Ryan. Score Hamish at the moment. It is 13 points to 11 with about 10 minutes remaining on the clock. So he's been defending with 14 men most of the game. So here's 1 Pierre Bosch. They had a yellow card earlier on with Zas. I think that was their only other card that they've received so far. Did he give a red card? It's a yellow card off-field review. Problem I have with playing in European comps is the crowds and refs get easily swayed by their supporters. Yeah, although I do think that's the case anywhere. Oh, Gibson Park sniping run up the middle, the step there, tackled by Porthan, but Gibson Park finishes it off, maybe. We're just seeing here the time has been turned off and they will go upstairs to check this. They're just going to check to see how this actually became the option for Gibson Park to go through. We have got there. I agree, the key went to the boxing gym. Says Sock. Right, they want to check potential cynical play from 19, so that would be Mangan. Oh, hang on. It's against 19 Stormers. We're going to see the replay now. So Sama Murat What are they actually checking for here? Oh, okay, so they're saying that Morat's foot knocked it out of the hands at Gibson Park. I don't think he's even seen Gibson Park there. Morat, he's trying to get back up to his feet. He's not even looking, and his foot hits the ball. I don't think that's going to be anything serious, but I think it's still going to be the try going the way of Leinster. Oh no, they've said he's in an unnatural position. I think that's because he was trying to sway to get away from Slimani, who was trying to mount him. He can't even see he's behind the blue player. Oh, they're going to give him a yellow card too here. Uh-oh. That's just after I've praised him as well for what he's been able to do. I think that's pretty harsh. I don't think Murad even knew whereabouts the ball was. He had Slimani on him, trying to get him in a full mount. So he was halfway just trying to sway. But the try is still going to be awarded as well. So now they're down to 13, the Stormers. Their chance in this game has gone from low to very, very slim. It's got Leinster says Shakira. And there's some joke of a yellow card. And we have the pathetic refereeing. The bias is so evident. Says LFC. It's all over Leinster versus the Bulls in the final, says Hardis. But they're just using up more of the shot clock too here. That's a rough yellow. Yeah, I think that one is definitely the wrong call. Definitely when you look at the fact that Leinster scored anyway. So it wasn't really anything that affected the play. They just continued on, scored the try. And now I feel sorry for Morat. Yeah, it's unlucky that it's him as well. Because like we mentioned earlier on, he gets enough stick as it is. But that one I think was not anywhere near a yellow card offence. Because you can even see in the replay, he's looking down at the time that he kicks the ball out of Gibson Park's hand. Right, time is turned off at the moment, and this is going to be for that Ruan Ackerman clean-out. They're probably going to give him a red, let's be honest. The way that... Yep, it's a red card to Ruan Ackerman. So they've said there, no mitigation for Ackerman, who has done the shoulder to the head of Ronan Kelleher. The two locks, or the forwards, are just sitting there in the bin going, what's going on? Over there. Also, ref upset Bulls beat Glasgow. And also Leinster massive favourite in the final, hopefully, or where'd that go? And hopefully the Bulls lost by less in the final than last year. Anything under 10 would be a great improvement, says Ben. And 6-match ban as well, says Cameron, for that Ackerman red. Game over, says Gavin. Yeah, the way that it sits currently 20 points to 11. Leinster have a 2-man advantage. The Stormers are going to have to dig deeper than they already have. Now, what a Gallant. Didn't get the offload away to Damien Valimza. Currently, they are missing 2 forwards. Was that knocked down from James Ryan? Now, even Ruas offloads out the back to Yuri Matia. They have not given up yet. The kicking behind from Ruan now has hit Hugo Keenan with the possession. Morat, you unlucky rat. Horrible way to end his time at the Stormers. He'll be missed, says Neville. That one has been put into touch. Come on, Ireland, love Wales. So is it not deserved to lose like this? Trash refereeing, says Kevin. You see that last one with Morat getting sent off, I think was pretty harsh. I do also think that the Stormers have had times that they could have been better out there during the 80 minutes. Like, let's be honest, dropping the ball as many times as they did, as close to the line as they did in that first half, you know, that could have added an extra 14, if not more points in their favour. But, like, yeah, they'll be frustrated with the way that they've handled this game as a whole, the Stormers. There's been a couple box kicks that have just been aimless. Leinster would say the same thing about their performance. We have there, the injustice will bring forward the truth, says Gideon. Leinster couldn't score from open play, so they need the extra booth, says LFC. And that's going to be nicely taken by the Stormers. 7 minutes still on the clock. Technically, a try, converted, and also a 3 would get them the win here. To be able to do it, again with the 13, would be tough to do, but Ruan now breaks the line, passes it on the outside with a bounce ball to Damien Valimza. 2-man tackle on him. Excellent refereeing, says Mark. And also 2 drop goals and a try, says Illicit. Yeah, although just a try and Penalty would do it if they were able to convert. Excellent. The ref is from there, and it's rained in Ireland for days until last night. So that's probably why so many knock-ons. So here's Albert. Now Gelant tried to offload that ball back, but he just got held up by the Leinster forwards. Slimani making the tackle alongside Yusinov. Gelant short ball to Valimza. Bornebe at the back. He does not even have a chair of the front row seat in the coaching bench. When is the final? It is taking place in 2 weeks' time. There is going to be a kick towards the sideline from Yuri Matea. I think he forgot he had 15 players versus 13 there because no one was chasing after it. And Jimmy O'Brien with a great kick downfield to gain a massive amount of territory there for this Leinster team. But yeah, final not next weekend, the weekend after. Same weekend as Barbarians go head-to-head up against the Box. The money is made in advertising sales and TV rights. Says LFC. Turn the game off when the ref started playing for Leinster, says a band bub. And also, how you feel about the greatest rivalry with all the injuries on both sides? It's going to be able to bring a lot of good excuses for that tour because I think we're going to hear a lot of them from both sides. Let's be honest. Neither side like to lose up against the other. So that list of injuries, that's going to be the first thing that people mention. That'll be before anything to do with the referees or the weather or anything like that. It'll be, yes, but we're missing this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. But 5 minutes left on the clock. Lads, it was a red card all day long. Says Pat Andy. Yes, here Ackerman's one I can understand the red for. I think Morup was hard done by, though, for the yellow for him. Now we have got there, love the content, says Janine, no worries at all. Well, thank you very much is what I should say there. Sorry, the brain's still not quite functioning. It's currently 6:17 a.m. And anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 100,000. We are getting closer every single stream. Crossfield kick here. And that one's gone out on the full, so they go back for the penalty in favour of the Stormers. And Reed says, Pat Andy. Hamish said it best, adapt to the refs or lose, says Vampy. Blame Thomas Latham, says the Grey. Rassi said Morup will be in the South African squad, says Xander. James Goods Parky will make his way off of the field now. And Lynetta said, love you, Hamish. Yeah, hopefully you guys have been able to tolerate my voice on this one. It has been cutting in and out. It actually sounded all right about 10 minutes ago, and then it's got much worse. Heading into the closing moments of this game, but we are going to be back next week, the URC semi-finals, the Super Rugby semi-finals. We are also going to be here tomorrow for the Sevens, where the Blitzboks are looking to claim that gold medal, and they're pretty much there as well with how it does sit. The Bulls will have to win this final. It's been many finals without a win. It's about 3 or 4, isn't it, for them? I'm calling now the Bulls are winning the final. Top 14 finals coming up too, that is true. I think Premiership may also have it. And Janina said, I love you, Vince. Thank you very much. Now Yuri Matea goes out to Watercalant. Now going for the grubber in behind. Oh, big collision there between two Leinster players. I think James Lowe got the worst of it. Them and Keenan. A red deserved, but yellow was disgraceful. Yeah, I don't see a way that was a yellow card for Murat. Definitely not because of the fact that there was also the try scored anyway. So I feel like that was kind of the punishment of it. And if anything, it kind of helped Leinster get that break. And Prem playoffs next week, says Andrew. The one is going to be put into touch. Just the 3 minutes now remain. The Stormers, they do still have another chance to get something going here. Gives him back, though. He received the player of the match. Our viewership will drop if this continues, says Jan. And Leinster scored anyway, says Big Rick. Yeah, so I feel like that was one where they could have just let it slide and say, he had a man on him. He was trying to kick his legs up to kind of swing out from underneath the guy. And it didn't affect too much. I think this game is done and dusted now, sadly. Thanks a lot, Latham G, says the Grey 619. Looks like an injury here for Hugo Keenan. I mentioned about his collision with James Lowe just before. And we're going to see the replay here. He was backtracking. James Lowe was coming forward, and yeah, just an awkward one. I think he almost got a knee to the testicles as well, which is never nice, no matter the day. Now you play the ref, lad, says Pad Andy. Dobson needs to go, says just call. And Red was right, yellow was complete rubbish, says Jimbo. One of the commentators saying that he thought it would really go down to the wire. It still can. The Stormers have got their line out here. Wherever they am blind, am deaf, I want to be a ref, says Janine. And also, we've got obviously the Scottish ref got revenge for Glasgow, says Fleshin. Hamish, you are sacrificing your voice for us, and plenty much appreciated. And let's take the whole comp out because the Kiwi lads like how I did that. And also, how long? So currently just 2.5 minutes remain. We've got a bit of a stoppage here. Waiting to get this next line out going. Time is now turned back on. Looks like Hugo Keenan's going to try and continue for the rest of this game. And only one Scottish ref in international class is this Adamson. Adamson's the TMO. Holly Davison, the referee in charge. I don't know who that was speaking, but I think it was maybe the South African, and he was pretty much telling everyone to keep on smashing them. But Hugo Keenan running down the wing, drawing past there. James Lowe driven just about into touch, but somehow keeps his legs above the touch line, and that's going to be the advantage going against Damien Valimza. Thanks, Hamish, says Edmund. And also, WDF is happening to rugby. These stupid penalty or idiotic card decisions are making many folks lose interest, says Neil. And thanks again, Hamish, much appreciated, says Henry. Yeah, we are going to be back tomorrow with more sevens. The game that I think will probably interest quite a few people is that South Africa versus France semi-final. That is kicking off at 1:14 p.m. tomorrow, South African time. We're going to be covering that one on the channel. I think that might be... We've still got a couple games being confirmed as we speak. Argentina are playing South Africa currently in the 9th place women's semi-final. But now 1 minute left on the clock. Leinster with the line out. We have got their neighbour crying because he contributes nothing, says Matt. Now I said it all. Leinster is pure bad, says LFC. Now rolling maul. 50 seconds left. Evan Roos trying to drag him down. And just taking their time here. McGrath passes it up to Jack Conan. Many thanks for commentary on today's games. Hamish says, John, no worries at all. Anyone who's new, be sure to hit that subscribe button as we will be back for the final. Will be Leinster versus the Bulls in Ireland in 2 weeks' time. Now moving that pass across to the left. Only the 20 seconds now remaining, so there won't be too much of a rush here for Leinster. They'll go a couple more phases. They will boot this ball into touch, and they will take the victory to book themselves back-to-back finals up against the Bulls. 8 seconds remaining here. McGrath has to go one more phase. The Stormers still trying to find a way of getting that ball back, but the full-time siren sounds. Leinster kick it into the stands, and they have beaten the Stormers at the Aviva 20 points to the 11. And here's Hamish in the chat. Springboks World will be announcing this week. Yeah, I think it's coming up in the next kind of couple days, isn't it? I think last year Russie did it maybe the day after the last match of the URC semis, I want to say. 1 second. I'll find out. What do we got? Have we got any sort of date or time announced for the Bok announcement? Doesn't look like it yet. But when they do, of course, we will be letting you know on the channel. Thank you, Hamish. Get some rest, brother, says Justin. So, yeah, the next live stream that we are going to be doing on the channel will be taking place at around, I think it will be 11 p.m. New Zealand time tomorrow, or maybe a little bit earlier. Wherever it's fine, Stormers just bad. One-man band, says Elijah. And good job, says Mr. Michael. And the Stormers got screwed. They had it won. And seriously, you need to get some sleep. You're obviously knackered. Flu has really knocked you about, says Mark. Yeah, it's hit relatively hard. The thing is, I actually, outside of my voice sounding like I've like talked for 24 hours straight, I actually feel all right. Feeling quite good. I think it's because I've consumed that much honey that I'm on like a sugar high. And it doesn't take much for me to like get all bouncing off the walls from any sort of sugar. So yeah, maybe by the time I go to bed, I'll be completely knocked out. But I feel like I could, like, other than the voice, I feel like I'll be awake for a few more hours. But I definitely should sleep, and that will be the plan now. Bye-bye, says Janine. But yeah, nonetheless, we will see some of you guys for the matches tomorrow that are going to be taking place. South Africa versus France. That is a 1:14 p.m. kickoff for you guys in South Africa, and that is in the semi-finals of the men's sevens. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.